Welcome to Spawn Point, the show for gamers, by gamers. I'm Goose.
I'm Bajo.
I'm Rad.
And I am D.A.R.R.E.N.
Today on the show, falling blocks and blobs of jelly will not stop us from reviewing Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Tetris! Tetris! Bubble time! Plus, we find out if NBA Playgrounds is a slam dunk or a total brick.
Boom shakalaka!
With authority!
Both those games have a really cool multiplayer focus, and I'm so glad that we're getting more games that you can play side by side with your buddies on the couch.
Well, speaking of multiplayer, have you ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes when you play a multiplayer game online? Oh, well, because it actually takes some pretty cool tech, and later in the show, I'll show you how.
Oh, I look forward to it, Goose. Well, without further ado, D.A.R.R.E.N., if you please.
Spark up your synapses, Spawnlings. It's time for D.A.R.R.E.N's Challenge! Today, I'm asking you this. In the original Halo Wars, what is the spirit of fire? Answer at the end of the show!
Oh, sounds like something from the UNSC to me.
The UNR what?
United Nations Space Command, Goose.
Oh, attention Space Cadets, this is Bajo Control. It's time for our first review.
Pew pew!
Hey guys, what do you get when you cross a bunch of falling blocks with a heap of multicolored jelly creatures?
A wobbly nightmare?
A rainbow headache?
Wrong and wronger, you get Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Severe damage.
Puyo Puyo Tetris combines two very similar vertical puzzlers. Tetris, the Russian tile-matching classic developed all the way back in 1984, and the Japanese jelly-stacking madness of Puyo Puyo, which first appeared in 1991.
Both games require you to clear a range of falling objects to score points, all the while avoiding cluttering up the board completely. And while they are both very similar, you'll need to master totally different strategies to succeed at both.
In Tetris, you need to arrange blocks to create horizontal lines across the board, causing them to disappear. However, Puyo Puyo requires you to match 4 or more of the same coloured Puyo in a chain. And this can be done vertically or horizontally.
That was perfect!
Both games are fun on their own, but by combining the two, it creates a ton of interesting new modes, most of which focus on battles.
Affirmative. Competition is the name of the game here, as almost every mode pits at least 2 players against each other, regardless of which game they've selected. As you score points by clearing your screen, you'll fill your opponent's board with rubbish, making it tricky for them to play.
This case!
Devious.
Yeah, it can get seriously intense. If you want, you can play each game in their original one-player format from the main menu, but in my opinion, you'll want to dive in and check out some of the more creative and interesting modes. I started out picking the adventure mode, curious to see how they might fit a story into these puzzle games.
It's such a peaceful day.
This is Captain T of the SS Tetra.
Looks like we got warped to another dimension. Please didn't agree to that. So peaceful. Oh my!
Yes, I think the less said about this, the better.
Yeah, they're weird, loud, and let's be honest, annoying. But I guess it's nice to have something to string the stages together, right?
I don't know, Goose, are you forgetting about the floating sidekick characters?
Goo-goo! Pee-pee?
Oh, yeah, good point. Luckily, all these cutscenes can be skipped, which is good because they go on way too long.
Essentially, they're just to break up a mixed bag of game modes, which can all be selected from the solo and multiplayer arcade menus anyway.
Affirmative. There are 6 game modes in total. Versus, Fusion, Swap, Party, Challenge, and Big Bang. And each has an interesting spin on the rules of the game.
What's really interesting is how many of these modes allow you to pick between playing with either Tetrominos or Puyo Jellies. Now guys, I'll admit I was born and raised playing Tetris, so I found it hard to force myself to switch modes, but I did actually really like the chance to play something different.
It's great, isn't it? Just as I was getting bored battling endless waves of AI in Tetris, I would switch over to Big Bang with Puyos or Fusion mode, which drops both types on the one board.
Utter madness!
Just the right kind, D.A.R.R.E.N, and I love this because having so many different ways to play stops the game from becoming too samey.
I got a real kick out of the endurance mode, which pits you up against endless opponents.
I'm here.
And that AI puts up a serious fight too.
Severe damage.
But of course, nothing beats battling a human opponent. Oh, no offense, D.A.R.R.E.N.
Oh, I'm used to it now.
It's just because you're so good, D.A.R.R.E.N. You always win. You can head online and compete in the Puzzle League, which mixes up modes with players around the world. But in my opinion, this game is primed for multiplayer couch shenanigans.
Hi, Betty.
Yeah, it's a serious party game, especially as it's easy to fit 4 players onto one screen. Final thoughts, Bajo?
Well, it's hard to fault a timeless classic like Tetris, and everything else was just a bonus for me. Plus, the multiplayer is a blast. So I'm giving this 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I found this really hard to put down. I'm not sure the adventure mode was totally necessary, and I will always pick Tetris over Puyo Puyo, but by combining them, they kept it feeling fresh and fun. So I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens. Plus, guys, Tetris music.
Oh, it's the best.
Oh no. Playing multiplayer games online can be an intensely fun experience, but for a game to run smoothly, it requires more than just a good internet connection. A game also needs a good engine that communicates well with the game's server. But what exactly is a server? Think of a server as a park that people can play in. The more people you have, the bigger your park needs to be. So with servers big enough, you can have hundreds of thousands of people all playing at once. That's a pretty busy park. So I'm here at Big World in Sydney, who built an engine that makes server-based games work better than ever. They're also responsible for powering massive online multiplayer games like World of Tanks. Let's check it out.
Big World Technology is a game engine, so it's the software that other games are built on. So our software fundamentally is to help support games where you really have millions of players. So MMOGs, massively multiplayer games where you've got hundreds of thousands of players all needing to connect together in the same game world. That's kind of our speciality. So usually at the beginning there's a login connection phase. Then that means that there's a constant data stream happening between your server and the player. And that's where what you're sending out to the server is all your instructions. Go and shoot this guy, I want to move here at 10 times a second or more. And then coming back the other way is the server going, out of all the things you're involved in, I'm going to send you all this information. These are what all the players around you are doing. These are the people that got shot. Here's some explosions you need to do. And all that data is coming back to you. If you think of it just like the communications between a few people in a room, and then that room becomes a cafeteria, and you've got thousands of people in there, they're all having conversations, they're all needing to share information, it can become pretty noisy. So for our engine, it's really about deciding what's important. So for you, if I'm having a conversation with you, it's very important that I hear exactly everything and we get real-time updates on all the words that are going on. But if somebody's walking in the background, it's good to know that they're there, but we don't have to know the same amount of detail. So the further things are away, in general, the less we are interested in them.
So using your engine, how many people can you connect to a game at once?
We actually have the Guinness Book of Records for over 100,000 concurrent players on the one server. We have server locations running big wargaming games around the world in all the major continents. So I think there's 6 or 7 locations. Each of them has their own data center. And again, the geographic location is important because it reduces ping. You know, there's lots of things we can optimize for as computers get faster, but you know, the speed of light between one point and another is kind of one of those fixed things on the internet, and it's not likely to get faster anytime, much faster anytime soon. The guys here really fall into a few different categories. We've got QA testing guys, we've got technical writers, project managers, technical artists, and a large number of programmers, lots of programmers. These are our tools developers.
Okay.
So these are the tools that game developers would use to help them make the tools that make levels, put things into the games. These are the guys that actually make the stuff that helps them make the stuff, if that makes any sense.
Close enough, yes.
Close enough, right.
What are we seeing up here?
Up here?
Yeah.
So we monitor all the different types of builds we have. We've got obviously Big World is used in many different games, ships, tanks, across console as well. So every time we make a change, we have to make sure that it's not going to break anything. So even overnight, we run a whole bunch of automated tests that run in the background.
Let me guess, green is good, red is not so good.
It is the convention.
Has it ever all been green? Come on, guys.
Yes.
You can do better than that. I want this all green by the end of the day. To keep the Big World engine the very best it can be, these guys need to test everything from art and animation through to gameplay, and most importantly, find and squash any unwanted bugs in the code. I've actually just noticed there are a couple of bugs in this one. They're right there. So looking forward, what's the future for some of your technology here?
I think one of the key things is to try and make all this technology more accessible to indie developers and to smaller developers. So at the moment it is a bit more of a specialised skill set, and so by having controls and things that are easy to sort of drag and drop and get things up and running without having to know the detail would certainly be one of them, because there's still so many possibilities for any game which is online and can leverage lots of people connecting.
So next time you're playing online games with your friends, spare a thought for the hardworking teams behind the scenes like Big World, who make sure your multiplayer sessions go off without a hitch. All right, guys, let's do this. Oh, I blew up. Go on without me. I'll wait here.
It's time for a questioning. And first up on our quest for questions is this from the Cool Cat, who is in Narrow in the ACT.
Hey, chill out, Cool Cat.
I prefer warm cats.
Oh, really?
Like little cuddly warm cats.
Me too.
Little squidgy faces.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I got a question for you. Is there going to be a VR headset multiplayer game? And do this. P.S. This it's the best.
Well, Cool Cat, stay cool. There are already loads of VR games that have multiplayer. There's also some big multiplayer games that have special VR support, like Minecraft and Elite Dangerous.
Indeed. And there are plenty of games made just for VR multiplayer shenanigans. Werewolves Within, for example, puts you with a group of people where one of you is a werewolf and you have to figure out who it is. Or if it's you, you have to lie your pants off.
Then there's things like Pool Nation or Rec Room, where there are some simple sporty games for you and your friends to muck about with.
Or if you like more fast-paced, head-to-head multiplayer, there are games like Eve Valkyrie for some head-to-head space dogfighting, or Riggs Mechanized Combat League for robot-on-robot destruction.
Oh, sounds fun. What I've been looking forward to has just come out, Star Trek Bridge Crew. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but it lets you and a bunch of buddies work together to control all the different stations on the bridge. I could be Captain Bajo, Picard, Red, engage.
Well, they don't have the next-gen version of the Enterprise in the game, Bajo, so there's no Picard.
Captain Bajo Picard can exist in any ship, Rad?
I don't think he can, but
He
okay.
can.
Well, Cool Cat, those are just some of the VR multiplayer games out there, and no doubt there'll be plenty more in the future. But let's move on now to this one from King of Switch, who's in Bajo's glasses, Victoria.
But I'm not wearing glasses, Rad.
You're right, you're not. What a mystery.
Maybe it's the glasses that I haven't washed up at home.
Oh, like drinking glasses.
Yeah, maybe they're doing my dishes.
Oh, that's nice.
Thanks for doing my dishes, good luck. They're pretty grimy. Hi GGSP, I'm a fan of your show and I love the Switch, but I've got a couple of questions for Darren. 1, can you name a few games coming for the Switch this year? 2, I heard that Overcooked is coming for the Switch. Is this true or a rumor? 3, can you recommend some good games for the Switch that I can play? I like good RPGs and games with a good story. Thanks. P.S. Here is the Switch. Cluck cluck.
Alright, well, your Switch Highness. Let me just get old mate Darren on the telephone here.
You know what, these are a lot of questions in one go. I reckon we should get Darren to do these super quick and I can use the BAM button to BAM each answer and then get a triple BAM combo.
That sounds like a great idea, let's do that.
Well on my hand. Set.
Hello, Darren speaking.
Hey Darren, how's it going?
Oh, very well, thank you, Rad. How can I help?
Speed round, Darren!
Ah!
Question 1, name some Switch games coming out later this year, go!
Well, there's ARMS, Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Sonic Forces, Rhyme, Stardew Valley.
Okay, that's enough!
Bam!
Question number 2, is Overcooked coming to the Switch?
Oh, affirmative, it's coming.
Bam!
Question number 3, name some good Switch games.
Mario Kart, Snipperclip.
Okay, thanks, bye!
Battery red combo out of control!
That's amazing.
It's fine.
Do I win anything?
Yes, you won a high five.
Awesome! Now let's move on, and we have a noob complaint against you, Bajo, which comes in from King in Loopy Loop, Victoria.
Sacre bleu.
I think it's Sacre Bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre Bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Bajo is a noob because he said that in Minecraft, if you jump off a high place and land in a 1 block deep water pit, you will die, but it is depending on the mode.
Well, King, welcome to Wrongtown Population U!
Ah, them some fighting words, Bajo. You better have some evidence to back yourself up.
Oh, I do, Rat, I do indeed. I have evidence for days and days. Firstly, let me present you with Exhibit A and B.
There you go, you cheesy sandwich, Highness. You can survive a normally lethal fall by landing in just one block of water.
As you can see, we clearly said you wouldn't die if you fell into one block of water. And secondly, Rad said it, not me. So if anyone should be accused of being a noob, it would be Rad.
Whoa, you just said that we were right. So, like, how can I be a noob if we were right?
It's not important right now,
so
Rad.
the letter was about you, not me.
My good name is on the line here. Now, may I present to you Exhibit C?
Will I die in survival mode when I jump off a cliff?
As you just saw, the question we were answering was asking specifically about whether you'd survive in survival mode. So, of course, that's the mode we were talking about.
Well, that's a pretty watertight case that you've built there, Bajo. I'd say you're off the hook. So let's move on now, and we have our video question for the week, which comes from Haruki and John in Western Australia.
I'm John, this is Haruki. We got 2 questions. Go.
How many Zelda amiibos are?
And which is the best amiibo for Zelda Breath of the Wild, the one that will give you the best weapon or best shield? Bye!
Well, Haruki, thanks for the great question, but firstly, we should of course point out that the new Zelda is rated M, meaning it is recommended for spawnlings 15 and over. So if you are interested in playing it, make sure, like Haruki here, you've got a grown-up's permission first.
As for how many Zelda amiibos there are, well, let me see. There's 15 of them available right now, and 3 more due to come out later this month.
But those are just Zelda-themed amiibos. You can use any amiibo to get a bit of random stuff like food too.
As for which one gives you the best weapon, well, a lot of them will spawn some decent weapons, but I'd say it's either the Ganondorf amiibo, from which you get the Sword of the 6 Sages, or the Ocarina of Time Link, which will get you Biggoron's sword, both of which pack some powerful damage.
As for the best shield, Toon Zelda is a good option, since she can get you the exclusive Hero Shield, which is decent. And Breath of the Wild Zelda amiibo has a chance of dropping the Hylian Shield, which is actually the best shield in the game.
Indeed, but you don't actually need amiibos to get the best items, which is good because a lot of these Zelda amiibos are very hard to track down in stores. You can find the Hylian Shield within the actual game world. We won't spoil exactly where, but explore underneath the castle and you should find it.
And no amiibo will get you the best sword in the game, the Master Sword. To get that, well, again, we won't spoil exactly how to get it. We'll just say don't get lost and make sure you have about 13 hearts.
We'd also say that outside of weapons and shields, the best amiibo drop, in my opinion, comes from the Super Smash Bros. Link amiibo. Using him will get you a horse with maxed out stats, and it's not just any horse, it's a Epona!
Oh, also, if you have the Wolf Link amiibo, that will summon Wolf Link to fight alongside you.
Thanks again for your question, Haruki and John, but on that note, we're out of time for this week. So if you've got a question that you'd like to ask us, you can go here and send it in.
Have you ever ridden a horse, Rad?
I have! It stumbled while I was on it though.
Oh no!
It fell over a bit, it was a bit scary. What about you?
Yes, I've ridden a horse. I've ridden tiny horses.
Tiny horses?
Yeah, one on each of my feet. No, wait, that was roller skates. Now, I admit I'm not very good at sport. And I've certainly never fully understood the rules of basketball.
Oh, we know, Bajo.
Yeah, it's on tape.
But one of my all-time favorite games was actually a basketball game, and it was called NBA Jam.
Come on and slam. And welcome to the jam.
It was an exciting 2-on-2 player tussle. It was simple to play and hard to master. And best of all, it had the most epic dunks. Boom shakalaka! He's on fire! So good. Did you ever play it, Fran?
No, I didn't, but I'm really excited for this game, NBA Playgrounds, because I love to thunk a dunk. Dunkaroo!
Rack attack, baby!
Thunks for the dunk.
The imaginary ladder! Dominique Wilkins.
Dunk you very much.
Your face.
Playgrounds is essentially NBA Jam recreated for a new generation.
At the gun.
It features the same 2-on-2 basketball action with officially licensed teams and players.
And they look great too. I love the big heads.
Yeah, they're so bobbleheady. The goal of the game is simple. Get the ball. Shoot the ball. Get points. Win.
Victory is yours.
Unlock some players, and if you're lucky, even some epic players. But what isn't simple is getting good at the game.
Yes, whether you're playing against randoms online
The slammer.
or fighting against the AI in the single-player tournament, you will have to master a variety of strategies to be the best.
Calling long distance.
And this is a good thing. Winning isn't as simple as just pushing over the other players, taking the ball and going for shots. You have to work for it.
The scoring system is different too and rewards perfect shots and power-ups with extra points. Playing well will increase a lottery bar. When this fills up, your team will be rewarded with a random power-up, such as unlimited sprint or increased accuracy.
Poster.
I really like this system. It keeps things interesting. And when you have a power-up active, the pressure is on to use it before it's too late.
Access.
But of course, your basic skills still matter a lot, as well as teamwork.
What team?
Spawn point! You need to know when to sprint and when to save your stamina, when to jump to try and stop a ball going in the net, and when to wait in the wings to grab a rebound. And of course, when to steal and when to take the big risk of actually pushing an opponent.
Oh, he just took it.
Unsports personally, but sometimes in NBA playgrounds, completely necessary.
Yes, the AI can be brutal, but actually I learned from the AI the more I played and I became a better player.
The lob and the jam.
I was also impressed with the artificial intelligence programming. Computer-controlled players will harass you constantly. If you take a risky shot, they'll make you pay for it. And when they see an opening, they'll make a dash for the points.
Nowadays they call that the jelly roll.
The companion AI in single player was also very good. It's reactive and useful, but not over-intrusive, so you still feel like you're in control of the team. Impressive.
The biggest difference compared to the NBA Jam formula is that if you miss a shot, you can clearly see what went wrong. Release the shot button too early and the game will tell you early. Same goes if you release late.
Oh yes, and this is the only part of the game that I didn't really like.
Oh, really, Bajo? I quite liked it. I felt it helped me get better at timing my shots.
Well, for me, it really changed the feeling of the shooting. With NBA Jam, I would like to take a shot and then have those few moments of tension as the ball would bounce and spin around the hoop, waiting to see if it went in. But with NBA Playgrounds, the moment it hits the rim, I know if I was too early or too late, and that takes the magic away a little bit for me.
That is fair enough. The extra information really does help you hone your skills, though. And once you start unlocking more players, you can set up a team to play just the way you like.
Well, final thoughts, you two?
Well, overall, NBA Playgrounds is a well-presented and exciting game, especially when you're playing with friends. I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
I would have liked some more modes, some sillier unlocks, that sort of thing, but I still had a great time with this 2-on-2 dunkathon. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Oh, big finish.
Well, it's almost the end of the show, so Darren, I think we need the answer to your challenge.
Affirmative. At the start of the show, I asked you this. In the original Halo Wars, what is the spirit of fire? And the answer is... the UNSC warship from where you command your troops.
That was some solid strategy gaming for console as well.
Yeah, and it's hard to get it right with a controller, but they did it.
Good quiz and dazzle.
Next week on Spawn Point, we try to escape an island and a curse in the mysterious adventure game, Rhyme.
And you can catch that on iView and the ABC Me app.
Ah, well, I will be watching. Until next time, be nice, have fun, and keep gaming. Rat out.
Goose out.
Bajo out.
Darren out.
You know, guys, they were some serious b-ball skills you had earlier on.
Oh, thanks so much. You know, you just gotta get your head in the game. You gotta be the ball.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm improving.
There's always room for improvement, Bajo.
Oh, thanks, Darren.
Especially with you.